On this installment of Creative Cabin Fever, we've got Tucker, but mostly we have the beautiful Dubh. So Dubh is incredible. She's a force. Actually, I don't think anybody else that I've kept an eye on has performed as much as her in the middle of all these things. She's constantly doing online gigs. I've never seen anything like it. COVID covers, pushing new things. It's just beautiful to see someone so creative in this time. How are you?
Good, yeah, can't complain. Keeping busy, as you said. What have I been up to? Yeah, I was just saying the past week I've been working on a music video for my upcoming single, so that's kept me quite well, stressed out and busy and trying to act and being bad at it for the past week or so.
Yeah, and you're so good at reinventing. Like I remember talking to you when you were like, "Oh yeah, I just decided I'm going to teach myself Ableton this week." And then, "Oh yeah, now I'm putting filters on my videos and doing so much better." Like, where do you find the energy?
Oh my God, I have days of absolute lack of productivity and despondency, you know what I mean? So I think it's just what gives me energy is guilt. I think that's the main driving thing that makes me get up and do stuff lately is like, oh geez, I haven't I haven't finished this project that I thought of, and so I'll just make myself go and do stuff. Like, yeah, I have really unproductive days, and then I'll have like spurts of productivity, and I think it's just to make myself not feel as guilty for being lazy, if that makes any sense. Like,
No, I get it. Like I do this time around, this lockdown, I'm going to be honest, like I keep saying this, but I just do not have the same drive I had in the last one.
yeah, it's hard to sustain like going through this whole same rigmarole again, like. I'm studying classical music at the moment on Yale. You can do a free course online, and I just keep falling behind because I'm like, just the will to do it isn't there as strongly as it was. Yeah, as you were saying in the first round of lockdown.
Yeah, all these free courses are wonderful and stuff. Like I actually, first off, don't actually have the time because like Keanu, like I
I
get
Yeah,
weekends off and I do this or the playlisting or the
yeah,
radio show or whatever.
yeah,
And yeah, this time is just a lot more difficult.
absolutely. I don't have a baba, so all I have to do is take care of myself, which I barely manage to do, and that means I have plenty of time for other pursuits.
There is that. Like one of the great things I love about you is your wordplay. Like, so I love Whitey Houston and I love Hollywood. And I know, like, I just think that's so creative and inventive. I love wordplays. Like, I have a whole comedy sketch called The Bexicon, for instance, where all I do is use words. So I think that's really inventive. Like, I know your mom kind of had input on one of those, but is that how it all snowballed from there? Or is it just the way your mind naturally goes?
Um, I remember I remember from primary school. I'd say everybody, I remember having to write poems for English in primary school, and Mam would always be the one helping write the poems. And Mam's just Mam like makes crosswords for magazines to publish and stuff like that. So Mam's quite Mam's great with words in the English language and stuff like that. But and so I think that and I used to read a lot of books, and I think that all kind of comes out of that. The specifically the Hollywood title was supposed to just be Hollywood the place. Um, because it was actually the song is kind of vaguely in reference to the Me Too movement as well as other more personal stuff. But Mam, when she heard me telling her about it, was like, said to me like, is it Hollywood or Hollywood? And she meant like, is it Holly? And then the question would. And I was like, oh my God, that's so much smarter than my thing. Okay, right, yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. So yeah, I think I probably get a lot of it from Mam. I do enjoy, like, as in, I love reading still. I actually just finished, where is it? I just finished reading The Handmaid's Tale. It's fantastic. And yeah, I do love playing around with the English language in song or in everyday speech as well.
Yeah, no, you have fantastic vocabulary. Like, I'd often be seeing, like, even hearing your lyrics going, there's another girl that likes her wordplay or that at least knows what she's doing. So that's really interesting. I had no idea that your mom was like writing stuff with words. Now I can't even think of words because I'm so under pressure. Like, this is what's happened now. Like, my vocabulary has gone out the window. Girl can't speak 5 languages anymore, gone. Like, that's amazing. So yeah, wordplay's always been really important to me too. So I always kind of pick up on stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I always notice it. I just think it's beautiful. But it's even like But realist, like the way you talk in that, like you're actually having a conversation, you're actually like explaining things and depicting things in a really beautiful verbose manner. Like I just really love the plays on words that you do on regular, but I just thought the titles themselves were interesting to ask about, so I'm happy I asked.
Oh, cheers. No, yeah, thank you. Realist was another one that Realist was weird in that I remember when I started writing it, what happened was I was on a beach with a fella, and the song came to me all of a sudden, and I was like having a really romantic moment, and I was like, I actually have to go because there's a song. I have to. So I legged it. The song was inspired by the romantic moment that was happening, but I had to leg it to get my guitar so I could start writing the song, and I'm glad I did because it turned out to be one of the songs that I really like to play to this day. That was it was a funny one at the time.
That's amazing. And then you did the beach performance, because I was going to ask about why
Yeah,
you did that on a beach, and I
yeah.
was like, that's amazing. I'm a
I didn't
top
even make that
stalker.
connection. I didn't even make that connection. Like, yeah, but I do have the performance of it on a beach. Yeah, that's actually on the opposite coast to the beach that it was written on. But still, yeah, that's cool. That's a cool thing that you just pointed out to me about my song.
Sorry.
That's deadly.
Top level stalker of the industry.
Amazing.
No, but I love that song. I love the way it's written. And that's even more powerful now that I know that there's a beautiful little backstory to it and parallel beaches and a parallel life. Like, you know?
Deadly. Yeah.
And obviously, Carousel is the one we probably should be talking about. So you're making the video at the moment. I had some laugh at you and the fake horse and the idea of it the other day. I was like, this girl and me, we just get on so well. There's reasoning behind it. Like we're both a bit special. Because remember, I had that mannequin in my house called Manny for ages. Then that reminded me of your first video, because someone actually says, that's so mad. You and Dubh Lee both be going around with your mannequins. And I was like, I suppose, yeah.
Weird. Yours was called Manny, yeah. Mine was
Manny Quinn.
I was calling him Manfred. That's yeah.
See.
But with the horse for Carousel, I think we know somebody who owned. Oh, excuse me, shaky camera. We know somebody who owned a model village, and they had this gigantic fake horse, and it was no longer needed for whatever reason. So we decided to just take it in, like my parents and my brother Declan say. Just like we just took it and stuck it down. We just stuck it down in our field, just because sometimes we have little house parties or whatever, and it's kind of funny to just be like, okay, there's a big full-sized fake horse, and I didn't think that it would eventually come in handy for Carousel, but I suppose there's a small amount of horse imagery associated with Carousel, so it will be making an appearance in the music video. Yeah.
It's amazing. I love that. My Manny was part of an art installation and then ended up in my shed. And my son Keanu found him in the shed during the first lockdown. He hadn't seen his dad in 7 weeks and started walking around the house with him, calling him model dad. So eventually I called his dad and I was like, look, screw lockdown. Please take your son for a few hours because he misses you.
Can't get a clearer sign in that.
Yeah. So your parents are super supportive, and obviously they bring in fake horses to make your dreams come true, and they follow everything you do. But I'm really curious, are they into music themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually share quite a lot of the artists that I'm into. I would have gotten through my parents, so I think I'm the only musician in the family. My sister plays ukulele and stuff like that. My brother plays a bit of guitar, and I have another eldest brother. I don't think he really plays anything, but mom and dad both had guitars in the house growing up, and they also listened to a ton of good music, and there'd be a lot of folk and soft rock and Americana and basically Leonard Cohen. My mother is obsessed with Leonard Cohen, and I am also therefore obsessed with Leonard Cohen. I've been exposed to a lot of it, but from my parents. But what's nice about my relationship with my parents is that they'll take me to gigs, and I'll also do the same for them. So, for example, they took me to see Leonard Cohen a few years ago in Sligo, Lissadell House, and that was my number one gig of all time that I've been to. And then they also brought me to see John Prine And conversely, I've brought them up to see Eric Bibb, who's like a Chicago blues man. And I think, yeah, more so than my other siblings, we kind of like to enjoy and share music together, which is quite nice. Neither of them really play anymore. Dad can still play a few chords, but his hands are so big that it's kind of, it blocks his, blocks his ability to play on the fretboard properly, you know. But yeah, I definitely get a lot of it from them, at least auditorially.
Yeah, I'm the same. Well, I don't play anything first off, but like my love for music definitely stems from something like just being surrounded with it the whole time. It's just kind of, yeah. But then other people are surrounded by it all the time and they still don't get it. Like,
Yeah. So it's a weird one.
yeah, my parents were good. They brought me to gigs. Like they were really good. Like I went to Jean-Michel Jarre was my first gig I ever went to when I was 11 years old, I think.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, it's like before dance music really existed, they made dance music with lasers.
Oh,
And it's cool. Like it's kind of
should I
like
say John Michel
Jean-Michel
Jarre?
Jarre. Yeah.
Like Jarr.
Yeah.
RR.
Yeah, that song Oxygen. Doom, 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 doom,
I actually
doom.
know. Yeah, sorry, I know. It's just your pronunciation was so much nicer than how I normally hear it said that I
Sorry.
fucking
I
no,
forget that I speak French like a French person.
je ne je me je ne parle je ne
Yeah.
parle pas français.
See, that was really good. And the way you rolled that R, Eve, you could have fooled anyone.
I speak fluent German. And they do a bit of a sometimes
do.
as well, you know. So yeah.
How did you learn German? Oh, I remember business and German course.
Yeah, so I did while I was playing music, but mainly basically I didn't really ever consider music as a career when I was younger. So I went on from school to study international finance and economics with German, which was like a major in finance and economics and a minor in German. And I think the biggest benefit I got out of the course was actually the German aspect of it. I had to live in Germany for a year, teaching English, and there was the 3 like years of education back in Ireland in German and economics and finance. And then I went on to work for all of my roles in the various offices I worked for after that then were German speaking. So I have very good command of the language. I actually love, like, linguistics is one thing that I actually really love, like from an amateur basis. I'm always looking up the etymologies of words and stuff. But yeah, like I think I would actually heavily consider moving back over to Germany, trying to make some music over there sometime in the next few years, probably.
And there's a very vibrant music scene over there as well.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Berlin. I spent a year in Germany and I didn't ever go to Berlin because I don't know, because I was a broke student. I was down like north. No, not down north. I was down in the middle, like kind of slightly southwest in Hesse, the state of Hesse. And it was like a 6-hour journey to get to Berlin. So I never actually went, but I had a fucking fantastic time where I was. But like, I do really want to go over and check out what the buzz is like in Berlin. Maybe just get enough money together to sustain myself for a couple of months and see if I can make it work, you know?
Yeah, I reckon even as a touring musician, you could probably make that work quite easy for yourself, Neve. Like, I don't imagine it would be. In fact, I reckon with all the work you've put in already, you just send a few videos over there and use the contacts you already have on your tour in Germany getting paid. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. That would be amazing. That'd be
once
a dream.
things, reopen up and
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like a lot of people who are like traveling musicians, they all say the same thing. Like, it's just so interesting to be able to travel and see different kind of people and how they react to your music. And then you learn more about, I think that's interesting aspect of it as well. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Like I actually haven't. Well, I gigged abroad while I lived in Germany. I did a lot of busking over there. I was in a 5-piece band. We played rockabilly and stuff. But I haven't. I cannot say honestly that I've ever actually like toured or like traveled around to gig in Europe, and I'd love to do it. I was supposed to go to Amsterdam in March of this year to perform. I had like 5 or 6 like paying gigs lined up. I was going to play in a couple of Irish bars and a couple of other like underground bars, and then well, then fucking COVID happened, and like I just had to cancel everything. I lost out on a good bit of revenue. I didn't get my flights refunded. I was like, no, my first kind of foreign excursion as a musician out to a foreign like city, or like I was going to go outside of Amsterdam as well. I was going to do a few different spots around the Netherlands. But anyway, didn't happen. Next year.
Next year, absolutely. Everything's going to happen when it's supposed to. It's just everyone's suffering from it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you've been doing incredible virtual gigs. Like, obviously, I saw you perform at Transmission. Then I saw you perform at that infamous carpet gig. Then I saw you on Hot Press. Then I think you were doing Five Lamps or something like that. Like, literally, I just be on the internet. It's like, oh, she's playing again. Yay! So how are you adjusting to the difference?
I quite like the gigs from home. Like I remember before the first one. I think the first one I did was probably for Fluttertone, which is like a Dublin-based kind of label, artist liaison, kind of PR-ish. Fluttertone do a bunch of shit. They put on events as well, but the first one I did was for them, and I was like, oh, this is going to be weird. And then I did it, and I was like, this is actually handy. Like, even though, you're kind of missing the applause in between songs or whatever, but like I could still crack jokes. I could just pretend people were laughing at them. Sometimes people don't laugh anyway. So, at least they weren't confirming that they wouldn't be laughing. What else? And yeah, you could interact with people in the chats, and like it just actually felt really natural to me. After a few minutes, I was like, sure, this is fine. I think I just love attention, and I just love performance. So I was like, yeah, nobody's here to stop me. Let's go. And then after that, I found it very easy to do. There can be problems with connectivity. I did a gig for Damaris there on Halloween. You might have seen a bit of it, and it was over Zoom, and my audio quality and video quality were terrible. I think it was a combination of maybe not being close enough to the mic. I was using my phone instead of an interface, that kind of stuff. So there's definitely lessons that you need to learn in order to gig effectively on the different platforms. And the different platforms will do different stuff to your audio in terms of compression. So you have to kind of be careful. But I think that's the only one that I did had really quite like a bad experience with my connectivity and how audible I was to the audience. Other than that, I've actually really enjoyed it. I just did one the day before yesterday for Access Ballymun as well, and that was great crack. I just used my phone. The phone audio was good. The phone picture was fantastic. It was better than my laptop bloody would be anyway, And I did like a 45-minute set. I could see people commenting, and I just had a good laugh. I had Griff from New Secret Weapon on the bass with me. And yeah, I find them really enjoyable. I always have a can to simulate always like what I would always have on stage with me, kind of, you know what I mean? So yeah, I actually really enjoy them, and that's probably why I keep doing them.
I'm finding it great to watch gigs from home, because I'm that person that, because I work at gigs, I'm like, oh, so tonight I'm out here for fun. So I'll talk to you before the gig and I'll talk to you after the gig, but I disappear and I don't talk to any of the lads when I'm at a gig, because I like to do it on my own. Like, I'm just like, it's just this weird quirk, because otherwise I can't concentrate on what's actually going on. And this is supposed to be fun. It's not about how much the lighting rig costs or how the sound tech could be better and less bouncy. Like, this is about me immersing myself in the moment, right? So I just sorry guys, I'm gone. So at home, I don't have to worry about that. At home,
That's
I can
cool.
take away in my pajamas on my bed, or I can watch you from my bath. I may have.
Oh, that's class. That's class. I'd love to. We don't have I don't have a bath in this house. Geez, that would be lovely. Gonna have to find somewhere where somebody who owns a bath and get them to let me watch a gig from their bath. Good shout.
Thank you. When you come down to Waterford, whenever that happens, I will let you have a gig in the bath.
Thank you.
Now, Carousel is sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, I see my lighting is going shitty. Oh, sorry for the cursing.
No, it's okay. It's my channel. We can do whatever we want. Mine's probably not going great either, because I didn't turn on the light. But look, we're just gonna do this for as long as we can.
The daylight just disappeared, so
I know.
I'm turning towards the larger source of light. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So you recorded Carousel in the Meadow. And that's obviously where all the bangers are coming from these days. Like, I mean, you've got New Thumper coming out. You've got like Bitch Falcon. You've got yours. Like, just those boys are slaying it at the moment. Dead
Yeah.
proud. So how is that experience?
Oh, it was great. So I remember when I wrote Carousel, say in December of 2019, and I was kind of like, where will I record it? I don't I haven't worked with a lot of the studios in Dublin, and I can't afford some of the bigger ones and that kind of stuff. So I remember I was at the Song Cycle, which is in Berks on a Monday, usually non-COVID. And I was telling Alex Harvey from Thumper that I was planning to record. And he was like, oh, you should definitely go to the Meadow. And I was like, cool, yeah, maybe I will. And then a month or two later, I was like, okay, I'm really getting ants in my pants about recording this, like recording a track. And Griff from New Secret Weapon said the exact same thing. He was like, just go to the Meadow, it's really good. So I went. Rian and Scan are the two boys that are there. Rian's doing all the engineering. Scan was taking some promo footage for me. So that promo video you see on my YouTube and Facebook and stuff, they're all his images. It was a fantastic experience. Yeah, they really know their stuff. And the record turned out meaty. Meaty. I'm not bloody American. Meaty. It turned out meaty and heavier, which I wanted. Actually, I'm so much happier with this track than I was with my first single. I was really unsure and insecure about my first single. But this one I can't wait to release. I really actually like the song, which is what you should do if it's your bloody song, Yeah,
but so this is it. So this is technically your second release, right? So your first, when you're doing it for the first time, the beauty is in having it, right? So in my opinion, anyway. So the first one, you just get it out of the way. Just get that out of the way, and then learn from it. And then the next one, that should be your prize baby. And then everyone after that should be even better. Or you experimenting in a different genre. That's how I perceive it.
I actually totally agree. Virtue was me learning the ropes of how to release as an independent artist, and I'm glad I did it, because it just made, when it comes to releasing something that I really love, then it's a little bit easier this time around. I'm probably gonna, after a month or two of Carousel being released, I'm probably gonna scrub Virtue off of Spotify, because I really this is terrible to say, I really dislike the song. I don't know why I picked it to record it.
Wow.
And you can put that out there. Everybody can know. I just really I one of my songs. I just fucking, excuse me, I hate it. So
no,
yeah,
but that's okay. Good. So I find that really interesting. For me, for instance, right? If I were you and I now hate a song I wrote and it's out there, I would never take it away, because it's part of what got me to where I am. And it's as important as the stuff I love. Because if it isn't for that mistake, I wouldn't be the strong ass woman in front of you right now. So
that's true. That a good few people have said that to me, and I'm like, oh, I know, you're right. And then I'll change my mind, and I'll be like, okay, the song is gonna stay. And then I'll flip flop, and I'll be like, no, I hate it so much, it has to go. But no, go on.
In 15 years' time, when you're like I don't know, whatever award-winning person that you will be, because you're massive and you're going to be even bigger, right? No, but you are, you're irrepressible force. I just foresee things like someone's going to be watching this interview in 15 years' time going, that girl was right. That girl is right. My name's Rebecca. But people can then, when they're doing a review of you, or when they're looking back on your trajectory, for you to go from a song that you feel is utterly shit, right, to the majesty you're about to create. I mean, how much more impactful is that?
True. That's a good shout. Okay, I think you've probably convinced me. It'll probably stay. And I know, that's the thing. I know that there's people that have written to me to say, "Oh my god, I love that song," and I'm like, "Do you?" Fucks you, because I hate that shit.
Really?
So for those people, I'll leave it up like that. For those people, and then in 15 years, when they're writing my biography or whatever, then I can leave it up for that.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe, I don't know, we do a mix. I don't know, we'll figure something out. But I do think I don't know, I like being a historian, and I don't want to be the only person who remembers when you did that. Because I'd be like, yeah, she had this song before and she was walking around with this mannequin that was not a real boyfriend. And I loved that about the video. And then she decided she didn't like the song anymore and she erased it from history. But it's still in my head. And actually, this could be another Mandela effect thing. And I'll never know now.
Okay, I won't take it down. I won't take it down. Or at least I definitely won't take the video. I love the video. The video was really fun to make. And it's a funny sketch. Um, if I were to remove it, I'd only be taking it off of Spotify, you know.
Okay.
But I'm not going to take it off. We've decided. It has
We've
been decreed.
decided. It's been decreed. The Vibe Queen spoke.
Yeah. Absolutely. Can't do it. I can't do it now. You told me not to. So
Just a few more things before I let you go, because my light's going, but look, that's just the way it goes. How are you perceiving, like obviously you had all this planned ahead, so you knew you were going to be releasing these songs, they were already recorded in the meadow, you were already looking forward to it, this is probably in and around the plan of when you'd going to put it out anyway, or did any of that change, and do you have any advice about releasing through lockdown?
I had planned to have a full EP out by this stage, like by mid-year. So Carousel was recorded in March, and then there was this lockdown that would have lasted for 2 weeks, and my plan was to go back to the meadow, record 3 or 4 more tracks, and release the whole shebang as an EP by July or August of this year. So instead, obviously, what happened was like lockdown, and so I kept putting off. I was like, okay, I'll just wait. I'll just delay the EP, and then like just the end of the year starts approaching, and I'm like, I don't. I just want people to hear the song, like, you know what I mean? And I haven't been back to the studio or whatever, and now we're locked down again. So yeah, it has really, like, I plan to release the EP that I plan to release is called Animals as Friends. Carousel will be one of the tracks on it, so this is like a single off the EP that I'm releasing, say, and then the other 4 tracks have not been recorded yet, but they will be coming out all in the spring of next year if all goes to plan and lockdown kind of reopens and stuff like that, or lockdown goes away. But COVID definitely changed my schedule for what was going to happen in terms of release and stuff this year.
Yeah, okay. See, some people were affected, other people just rolled with it the way it was. Other people just made stuff during this time that they never even planned on making.
Yeah.
Like, and then what's the correct thing to do? Do I wait forever? Do I put it out there? Like,
yeah. So like what I think is for the stuff I want to write, I need to go to a studio to do it. You know what I mean? I want an engineer there. I can do just like all my interface and my microphones and stuff are all back there. There's lots of stuff I can do from home, and there's lots of stuff I have been doing from home, like video projects mainly, like for YouTube, and I can mix fairly well, and I can record good audio, but it's not good enough for what I want to put out into the world, and that's why I've allowed COVID to kind of slow me down. You know what I mean? But I've been keeping myself sane in the meantime, yeah, with putting out these YouTube videos and things like that.
yeah. Do you know what's funny about that? I don't know if you saw it, but I interviewed Shit Kid last week. Like, she's a Norwegian or Swedish multi-instrumentalist woman, right? She's incredible. She's one of my favorites. She's very unpolished and raw and perfect. But she was talking about how she records everything in a car because it's like a sound booth. And the music she makes, I'm telling you right now, go listen to her. You will not believe what she is able to create. Like, and all it is a car or a bunk bed in her house. And then
yeah.
Sometimes the unpolished stuff actually turns out like gold. Like, she's literally one of my heroes. When she said yes to an interview, I was like, what?
That's a class. I'm definitely going to check. I'm definitely going to check her out. Like, yeah, I mean, I could easily make a little vocal booth out of my mattress and a few sheets, you know, draped around and stuff. Like, I just like, in terms of some of the rockier songs I want to put out, definitely need to go somewhere with a drum kit, you know. So that's my
oh yeah, that's the hook up there. You know, I could see that.
Or yeah. I could just go on Fiverr and like pay some drummer to put like music on put drums to my track from their home, send it to me remotely. Or Rob Kennedy, that's been drumming with me for some of the hybrid gigs. Like, my hair is such a mess. He could like record it from home and send it to me, but like, it's just I just want I'm proud of people in the studio with me to do it that way, you know what I mean?
There's a nice fraternity to it. Like, there's a nice feeling of the merger and the bond during the process. I get it.
Yeah, 100%. Like, yeah, it's and it's great for when you want to eventually promote the bloody whatever it is you've recorded. It's nice to have that footage from in studio to be like, hey, here's what it looked like when we were getting this ready. You know, it's all good material for getting ready to release something. You know.
Yeah. And look, Reel
So
and Scanny are really good at what they do. Like Scanny just has such an eye for photography. Like it's just unbelievable. Like,
mm,
you know, and Rian has a great ear. Like I'm just saying, because there's nothing else going on, I'm like, I don't know what's more important, like doing it properly or just getting it out there. Like this is what I
yeah,
mean. Like it's like there's such an itch and a hunger on me for new music, and I just want to hear
yeah,
everyone's bangers. Like,
yeah. No, so many people are releasing. A lot of my peers are like, just like, everybody announced that they were releasing a single in November. I was like, oh shit, I thought I was the only one that had that idea. But no, but it's great to see. Like, I think a lot of people got delayed in a similar way to the way I feel like I've been delayed. And so everybody was like, oh shit, I got to release something in 2020. This is happening. So there's so much good music dropping and about to drop before December hits, which is awesome.
it's amazing, and I can't wait to hear like Carousel the way you've done it now. Like, because like it's going to be so different to your first. Excuse me, and like yeah, I think it's amazing. I cannot wait to see your progression personally, like because I've seen you perform, and I adore the way you play with words, and I have so much utter respect for you and everything you do. So I can't wait for you to just put your new baby out there and for me to go, that a girl, you
Thank you.
know.
I really appreciate that. That's lovely.
You're welcome. Because my lighting I just didn't put the light on, because there's a light up here in his room, but it reflects off the camera, so then it makes me look weird. So I was like, oh, I'll get away with the sunshine, but like
You look spooky. It's cool. It's cool. I can still make you out pretty well, yeah. Except for like, as in your shoulders have disappeared, so it looks like you're like a floating head.
my Brayside Boy t-shirt is a throwback to transmission.
Ah, nice, nice. I need to get some merch. Going. I will after I have the EP together.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I will absolutely buy that merch.
Thank you. No, I'll send you some. You don't have to buy shit. Don't worry. Everybody else can buy it. If you're watching, buy my shit.
Irish shit. Yeah, because like I'm still buying 3 a week from Irish industry, like so it's either a vinyl, an LP, or a t-shirt every single week since lockdown started.
You're still buying of different like merch from different
Irish
people.
bands.
Fair play to you. I
That's 8
can't.
months. It's starting to get like a little bit too much. Like first off, I don't know where to put all the t-shirts because I wore them all at transmission. Do you know I had 37 on that day?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what so now I'm not buying t-shirts as much. I'm looking for hoodies.
Hoodies good for winter. Good for
Yeah.
winter. Can't help you there.
Vinyl.
Hoodies and vinyl. Final. I can imagine good for entertainment. And those long winter nights.
Yeah, that's it. Because I got a stereo sorted out I got myself a beautiful stereo finally after years of dreaming that I would have my own stack. So
nice. Yeah.
I have lovely Technics. Yeah.
Ah, sweet. I don't actually have speakers here. I have, and it's only a recent development, but I have this like Bose Bluetooth speaker. They're actually deadly. They're I can recommend these. I got these the second hand on adverts for like 80 quid or 85 or something like that. They're the amount of noise that comes out of this thing is fantastic. Really good bass response. So this, and I do all my mixing in my headphones. I've got like Audio Technicas, like M30Xs or whatever. So this is where all the mixing happens, and this is just for when I'm chilling in the room. You know? Yeah. I'm gonna put it back over here.
So have you had time to listen to music yourself?
I have not been listening to a lot of new music. Let me see, what was the most recent thing that I listened to that I got really into? Do you see the show Devs? So there's a show called Devs, and it's like a science fiction show. And there's a track called Congregation on it, which is the main theme, and it's by a band, and I fucking can't remember the band's name, but like that's like one track that I'm really into. Arlo Parks has been quite fucking cool recently. And then I've been trying to listen to more like Irish artists. So I really enjoyed Teppy Rex's stuff. Of course, the Scratch, but haven't really released anything majorly new in the past couple of months. Yeah, I tend to I tend to revert to golden oldies when I'm like listening for pleasure, like go back to old favorites that I really like. So I listen to a lot of I listen to a lot of Leonard Cohen and Simon and Garfunkel at the moment, which and that's reflected in the fact that I'm doing so much Travis picking. I like all I do all day now when I pick up a guitar is go straight to this Travis picking style, which is so much fun. I'm kind of in a Travis picking rut. I need to move on. I need to find something new to listen to learn a new guitar technique with. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm calling that listening back to the golden oldies, rediscovering music for the first time, because you're going back, but you're listening to it differently. Like something about this moment in time is just making you listen to those tracks that you've loved your whole entire life differently.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah. Well, you know who I haven't gone back to listen to in a while is when I was, what age? Like say when I was 14, 15. I was super into the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Outkast. So they were like the two bands that I was super into. And I actually haven't gone back and had a listening party for either of them in ages. So I'm probably going to do that this evening while I'm chilling.
Yeah, I literally put together a playlist for my teenage years a while back because I needed some nostalgia. Like I was like, okay, I have delved deep in the Irish underground for 8 months now. I need some junk for my brain. You know, you just be like, soothe me, chicken soup for my soul.
Yeah, that's it. It's like putting on like an old jacket, like an old comfy jacket. That's definitely good.
Yeah, it's great. I just like, you'll never see me without my headphones on. It's like it's almost an impossibility unless I'm having a particularly good day or I'm in company with someone I really want to talk to. The headphones go everywhere with me. They're kind of like, I don't know, they keep me safe. They're like, I don't know, I just always around me. Like I got a new pair recently enough and they're just amazing, and I love these guys as well. But I got Bluetooth ones, but they also have the string that you can take out and in. I just think that's amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like these ones are too tight. So they're fine to mix in, but like I don't leave the house in them because they just kind of annoy me after a while. What I did get recently was Raycons, so same Bluetooth wireless headphones, and I can totally recommend the shit out of them. They're really good. They're especially good for, I think, like hip hop and stuff like that. They have quite meaty bass response. So like, yeah, and also you can like shake your head everywhere and they don't budge. They're deadly. I can totally recommend Raycons.
Yeah. No, my ones are brilliant, but right now I'm drawing a blank again as to what they are called. I always get Sennheisers, so they're Sennheisers. I know that much.
Okay, yeah.
I think they're T90 somethings, and they were very expensive, and they fit perfectly. But I'm not good at remembering names or titles of things. It's a thing.
No shame.
No. I was like delighted with them anyway. And when you put them on, they completely cancel out sound everywhere else. And they make sound like so good that I go around the town asking all the Waterford musicians to pick a Waterford song they want to listen to for the first time on these headphones because they're just that good.
Sweet. That's cool. That's cool. Good response. Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to the interview before I let you go?
Let me see. Yeah, I suppose I should probably plug myself. That's usually a good idea. So if you're tuned in, my name is Dubh Lee. That's Dubhlee, and it means Black Lee. And what else should you know about me? Oh yes, you can find me on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Spotify. Just look up Dubh Lee. On Instagram it's @dove.lee, and the same on Facebook. And on Twitter it's @dove_Lee. And I post frequently enough to YouTube, so if you want to subscribe to me over there, you'll see some new videos. I have a new single. It's called Carousel. If you want to pre-save it on Spotify, it's going to be out on the 20th of November. And then shortly after that, a music video will appear, and it's going to be trippy as hell. And thank you, Rebecca, for having me.
You're welcome. I'm going to put the pre-save link in the bio actually, because that'll just make that much easier for everyone to actually go in and pre-save it, because she is awesome. I'd also urge you to subscribe to her YouTube channel because she does these COVID covers at the moment that are amazing. She does wordplay in those as well, like 7-8 Nation. Oh,
Tripper, 7 day tripper.
7 day tripper. I was like, she makes like the Beatles, and like it's genius. genius. And she does it
Thank
with
you.
these trippy backgrounds, and she keeps upping her game in the video editorial footage. She puts me to shame. You know, she's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll stop recording.